Hello and welcome to episode 46 of Game Patrol. I'm your host, Landon Plumley, and it is good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. I have returned from my hiatus. Essentially, after I moved out of my apartment on campus, I was kind of in a spatial limbo for a little while, and now I moved into my brand new house, and so I was on a bit of a hiatus for those that don't follow my YouTube/Twitch channels, but now I'm back and I'm ready to talk more about games. And what a perfect time to be back, because E3 was this past week, and so this is my big E3 2021 reaction episode. Let's talk about it, because I think there were some really cool moments of E3. I think there were definitely some areas that disappointed and others that did not. And so let's talk about all of it. I'm here to do a deep dive into that, as well as talk about the usual stuff, what games are coming this week, what I've been doing with my time, and, all that sort of fun stuff. So let's get into it. But first off, I just want to say, again, that I'm very happy to be back. And I'm very sorry. I think I even had an episode 46 recorded, but then it never ended up getting posted because when I got to researching for this episode, I got up my outlines and I was like, 46. I looked at that and I was like, because I'd thought about it and I'm like, didn't I record one that I never actually posted? And so I looked up the YouTube channel and looked at it. I'm like, yep, that's not right. Okay, so I was like, okay, so I'm pretty sure I actually did do a 46th episode, but it never actually never was shown to the light of day. But anyway. Anyway, sorry. I was looking at a notification on my phone like I shouldn't in the middle of a podcast. But let's get into the first showcase of E3, Ubisoft. They kicked it off on... When was that? Was that Saturday? I don't even remember, but I think it was Saturday. But I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed by E3 as a whole and said that, E3 sucked and all of that. I definitely think this is the weakest E3 we've ever had, but I think there's a lot of factors that contribute to that, such as a global pandemic and E3, these big conferences from these big people. They're the people that are affected the most by COVID, because they have hundreds of people working on these games that are now separated, and so it makes these games a lot harder to develop, whereas indie games, they aren't really affected all that much. If anything, it's more affected by their publishers are more affected than they are as developers. And so, anyway, getting into Ubisoft, I actually really liked it because I'm excited for a lot of Ubisoft games coming this year. And so, first off, let's talk about the re-reveal of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction, which I actually just now finished watching because I didn't actually watch the Ubisoft conference in its entirety. I work a lot, and so it makes it to where I miss most stuff. The only conferences I watched live was the second half of the Ubisoft conference, because I actually completely forgot about it. So I could have seen the whole thing, but I didn't realize when it was because I just assumed I would be working during it, and then I wasn't, and so I was like, oh. So I watched the second half of the Ubisoft conference, and I was also working on my PS5 video, so I did that. I sort of did both. I was working and also doing that sort of stuff. They're paying attention to the Ubisoft conference. But I just finished watching all that, and I'm really excited for this game. It looks really good. It got announced for October. It's releasing... Shoot, I don't have any of this stuff actually available on my thing. I can stall really quickly. But I'm literally just going to look up E3 2021. But anyway, it's releasing in October. If anything, it made me think of a mix of Siege and why is it not happening? Anyway, it is a mix of Siege and Returnal. That's what it felt like. Wait, it's September? No, it doesn't sound right. I could have sworn it was October. I'm fact checking Wikipedia on this. It is September. Oh shit. Okay, I thought it was October. Anyway, it's September 16th. September is loaded after E3. Let me just say that. Once we get through all this stuff, there's a lot of games coming in September, and there's a lot of games coming in October too. So yeah, I'm very excited. September and October are stacked, which usually, there are some games that come out, but this is the busiest I've seen these couple of months practically ever in video games. I'm very excited to get to this fall because it seems like we're going to have some really cool stuff. But, yeah, I'm really excited. It looks like a mix of Siege and Returnal. It almost looks like it kind of has some roguelike elements in there, even though that's not what it is. But it looks really cool, and I'm very excited to check it out. I will definitely be playing. But, yeah, it looks really cool. I'm really excited. Yeah, go Ubisoft. Really happy with how that turned out. Next up, Rocksmith Plus. I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I have one back in my hometown with at my mom's house, which I really should have grabbed, but that's the topic for another time. Especially now with Rocksmith Plus, because I can learn. I just need to get some strings for it, but I would love to pick this up. I don't know if they actually had any sort of release date. I don't think so. They might have dropped a 2022, but I don't think so. They did announce a beta, if I remember correctly. There's not much information here. I think they were talking about a beta. But yeah, we don't really know when it's coming out for now, but it's cool. You know, finally getting a sequel to Rocksmith, and it looks interesting. And then we also have Riders Republic, which got another re-reveal. It was supposed to come out in February, then it got delayed. Now it's coming September 2nd, so that is another big Ubisoft game coming out this fall. I'm super excited for it. As someone who isn't really super into sports video games growing up, that has more recently gotten into more and more of them, I am excited as this kind of looks like a mix of what they've tried to do in past sports games. Ubisoft has never really broken into that genre very well with Steep and The Crew and all of this stuff, and so I'm really excited to see them make another full-on attempt into the sports video game genre. And yeah, I'm very curious to see how it turns out, and so I will be picking that up as well. And then we got another look at Far Cry 6, which we got basically confirmation. We already knew that it was coming in October 7th, but now which I'm definitely going to be playing Far Cry 6. I mean, okay. But we got to look at post-launch content, which lets us play as all of the other villains of the franchise. Well, not all, but the big villains of the franchise. So we get to play as Voss from Far Cry 3, Pagan Min from Far Cry 4, and Joseph Seed from Far Cry 5, which I'm like, hell yeah. And it's also going to include an updated version of Blood Dragon from Far Cry 3. So yeah, I'm excited for the season pass of this game. But we also got a look at Giancarlo Esposito as Anton, the main villain of 6. And because, that's what they're really leaning into now, because that is what Far Cry has made itself known for, is its absolutely psychopathic villains. To be honest with you, I was kind of mixed about it, because it didn't feel like I'm a huge fan of Giancarlo Esposito's work as an actor. I think he is he's a phenomenal villain. That's, the role that he plays. He's really, really good at what he does. But it didn't really feel like him. He's the type of person who's very cold and calculated in a lot of his roles. And here he just seemed very emotional, psychotic, in something that would make sense for a Far Cry villain, but doesn't make sense for Esposito's characters that he will usually play. And not to say that it's going to be bad, but to be honest, I was kind of really interested to see a much more, I think, Esposito's sort of flavor of villains that he plays. I think it would be really interesting to see how Far Cry could handle that, because I still think it could fit, but it seems that they really wanted him to play a much more, what's the term? The much more vivacious, I don't know, that's not the word I was thinking of, but yeah, a much more emoting villain than what he usually plays. And I don't know, it kind of felt a little weird to me. I'm not necessarily throwing it out, it just that trailer that they showed us really kind of was okay, not quite what I was looking for, but I'm still very excited. I'm also excited to play as Danny, finally get that girl power in Far Cry. Let's go. Yeah, I really like this. I'm really excited for it. I'm definitely going to be picking it up. Like I said, I'm a big Ubisoft fan. It's kind of my guilty pleasure. I know some people weren't super satisfied with this presentation, but I saw stuff I liked. I didn't think it was amazing. But continuing forward, we've got Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This one I was super excited about. Apparently it leaked right beforehand. I didn't know that, but I was excited watching the press conference and getting that reveal. It's a sequel to Kingdom Battle. I never finished that game, but I've been meaning to. And so now I have the perfect reason to. It comes out next year. It's got some cool stuff. I'm very excited for this because, hell yeah. Hopefully, Nintendo continues to collaborate with other people because it's really cool. I really like this, and I'm excited. And yeah, sparks of hope. Let's go. And then we finally got our first look at the new Avatar game, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Not much yet. I don't remember if they gave a release date yet, like if they gave a thing. I'm going to look it up right now. I don't think they did. Though they might have said 2022. I feel like they did. That sounds right, but I don't know. But we finally got our first look at that game. It looks absolutely beautiful. We still don't know very much about it, like, at all, but I'm still very excited for it because I was obsessed with Avatar growing up, which, just to remind you guys, Avatar is an 11-year-old... No. Avatar is a 12-year-old franchise that has one movie and 4 sequels in development that just have been in development for the past 12 years. And still not there yet. I think right now the sequel is currently scheduled for next year, December 2022. I'm going to look that up. But, yeah, I'm still waiting. Because I was actually... Yeah, it is. December 16th, 2022. So maybe, just maybe, it keeps getting delayed over and over and over and over and over again. So I'll believe it when I see it. But... yeah, we might get some more stuff. It'd be really cool if they try to like time it out for that. So maybe we get a holiday 2022 release for this game, but obviously COVID is screwing up a lot of stuff. But I think they're pretty much done filming Avatar 2. I think they're in post now. I don't know. But yeah, that's a whole mess of its own. But I was super obsessed with Avatar as a kid. I went and saw the original in theaters and was just blown away. I haven't seen it in forever. I've been wanting them to release it in 4K, and I'm thinking that they're kind of holding off and wanting to use it to generate hype for the sequel. Once they finally get like a trailer out, be like, okay, we're releasing Avatar in 4K, because it's the perfect movie to release. It is still one of the most beautiful movies ever made, and so to see it in 4K, HDR, Dolby Atmos, all of that, it's a no-brainer. So I've been kind of waiting for that to really give it a good rewatch, but also kind of just want to watch on Disney Plus because it's been a while. But I love that movie, and I played the game on the Wii, which was fun for me as a kid. Probably wasn't good, to be honest with you. I can, even thinking back on it, because I played the crap out of that game. Just thinking about it, it was a very cliched like action adventure game, but I'm excited for a legitimate attempt at this franchise as a video game. I think it was Ubisoft that made the last one, but yeah, I'm very excited, and so I'm hoping we get that like next year, or I would think by 2023. I would think, but yeah, I was really excited about that. I did not expect that at all. So overall, I thought Ubisoft had a great conference. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I know there's plenty of stuff that they left out. We still don't know anything about Skull and Bones or Beyond Good and Evil 2. There's a lot of people saying that Beyond Good and Evil 2 has been scrapped and they're just waiting to tell us, which, I don't know, it could be true. But, yeah, it's been forever since we heard about that game, and it is a little worrying, especially since Ubisoft has now made the statement that they want to kind of steer away from AAA releases, which absolutely pisses me off, because I get it on a business standpoint about the free-to-play model, but that's just not for me, man. I love my AAA games, and so I hope that they reverse that decision. I hope they pull a Jedi Fallen Order like EA and release a AAA game that just blows everyone away. Maybe it's Frontiers of Pandora, I don't know, and then they're like, oh, okay, let's do this. But anyway, so yeah, I like the Ubisoft conference a lot. Sue me. But let's talk about the Gearbox software presentation. That was very much, okay, whatever. We got some more information on Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that got announced earlier before E3 at the Summer Games Fest showcase by Jeff Keighley, who, I have mixed feelings about that guy, but what can I say? He's got a lot of push in the industry. And so I'm really excited for this game. I don't know what it's all about. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a fantasy looter shooter, like Borderlands spinoff. I mean, that is what it is. But like, I'm very curious to see how the gameplay operates, and that's the biggest thing that's kind of keeping me from getting like full hype. But has an absolutely bonkers cast of like Andy Samberg, Will Arnett, just a bunch of other really cool people, and it just seems like a fun Borderlands Dungeons and Dragons marriage, and I'm here for it. So we got a little more information about that, but that's still kind of like a ways away. And then we got the announcement of Homeworld 3, which I care nothing about, but a lot of people are really excited about, so that was interesting. But otherwise, not very notable. The biggest takeaway from E3, I think, for a lot of people was that these publishers need to chill out, because I think a lot of them were trying to cash in on the E3 hype and, you know, get their games out there, but it was just sort of like a check-in almost, and it kind of sucked because they weren't prepared for E3, but they wanted to show up, and it was like, you know, like, okay, cool, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. But you had a lot of people upset about that. But now on to my favorite presentation, and I've heard some debate. A lot of people like Nintendo. Well, I mean, people were very divided. I think it's honestly an Xbox versus Nintendo presentation at this point, right? But the Microsoft Bethesda conference, it was my favorite one, easily, by far. I thought they absolutely killed it, and I didn't even watch it. I've caught up on, you know, a lot of different stuff, like a lot of different announcements, different stuff like that. But I was working. I literally worked 13 hours that day. So I missed both the Microsoft and Square Enix presentations, which were probably my two favorites in terms of like, well, I don't know. I'd probably go Microsoft, then Ubisoft, then Square Enix, and then Nintendo. But anyway, whole bunch of announcements. We finally got the reveal of Starfield with not a CGI trailer. This was an in-engine trailer that people were like, oh, you got a cinematic trailer? No, that was in-engine. That just blew me away. Just it looks so good. And I mean, there's still very little we know about this game, but we got a release date for some reason of November 11th, 2022. I think that's the earliest I've seen a game get announced for a release date. Don't know why they felt. I think it was mostly just to appease people, to be like, here's a release date, now you can shut up about it. Which is so uncharacteristic of Bethesda. I feel like this was from Xbox, because Bethesda is very much like, keep their cards close and then reveal it and be like, it's out in 3 months, you know? And so, at least with Bethesda Softworks, I should say, because of Fallout 4, and I think Skyrim was very much the same way. Now with Starfield, they're like, will you shut up about it already? Here you go. It's coming in a year and a half. There you go. And so now people will finally shut up about the release date. And it was also confirmed to be an Xbox exclusive. It is not coming to PS5. No one, like, I am not surprised about it. I mean, this was kind of, like, reportedly confirmed a while ago, so I don't think anyone was super shocked by it, but I think a lot of PlayStation diehards are very upset by this, to the point that Pete Hines in an interview basically apologized. He's like, I'm sorry, you know, we're an Xbox studio now, so if you want to play our games, go on Xbox. And so I'm not super surprised. I feel like, I mean, like, I think, I'm trying to remember, I think I was in the camp of it not being exclusive, so I'm not, like, you know, I think it's a win-win situation either way, because again, you're losing a lot of sales by not putting it on PS5, because a ton of people would buy it on PS5. However, you're also gaining a lot of people buying an Xbox for Starfield, or more accurately, buying an Xbox for Elder Scrolls 6. And so, you know, you got people that, because now they've basically set up the precedent of like, oh, you're going to have a lot of people believing that Elder Scrolls 6 will be an Xbox exclusive. Even though, who knows, Starfield might tank being an exclusive, and then they bring Elder Scrolls to PlayStation. Or they just bring Elder Scrolls to PlayStation because of the history of it being a multi-platform game, whereas Starfield is a new IP. So, you know, it's still not 100% confirmed that Elder Scrolls 6 will be an Xbox exclusive, although I would not place your bets that it's on PS5. I think it's a possibility, but not a great one. But yeah, so Starfield is Xbox exclusive. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and I'm very excited to play a Skyrim Mass Effect love child. and that sounds like what it's going to be. And yeah. And then we also got a new look at Stalker 2, which I'm very excited about, and it got a release date. It got moved out of 2021, but it is coming April 28th, 2022. So I am excited. It's also going to be on Game Pass at launch, and it's very exciting. And it is a timed exclusive. It said that it would. Originally they were going to be like exclusive. Now it's only timed, which is cool, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks cool. Very Metro-esque, but I think Stalker came first, if I remember correctly, or maybe they were about the same time actually, the franchises. Anyway, then we got a new trailer for Back 4 Blood and confirmation that it would launch into Game Pass, which I thought was really cool. We already knew the release date of October 12th. I'm very excited for this game. I was obsessed with Left 4 Dead growing up. It was a game I would play all the time with one of my neighbors. It was our game. We were obsessed with it. So I'm very excited to see Turtle Rock coming back to their roots and basically making Left 4 Dead 3. Yeah. Screw Valve. They don't need them. They're just going to make their own Left 4 Dead. And so I'm very excited. But yeah, it looks really cool. They announced PvP stuff. Open beta is supposed to be sometime soon, but yeah, I'm still not sure whether I'm gonna pick this up on, because like Xbox, I don't have to pay for it, but like PlayStation 5 is my baby, so I'm still very much uncertain on where I want to play this. I'll probably end up playing it on Xbox, but I'll really want to play it on PS5. Might just play the beta on PS5. We'll see. But then we got the announcement of Contraband, which is a basically like detective adventure game being made by the people who made Just Cause, Avalanche Studios, and they are working with Microsoft on making this game. Got a little tease for that. Looks interesting. Don't know much about it, but definitely didn't see that coming. And then we got the full gameplay reveal for Battlefield 2042, which I'm very excited for. I also very confused. Like, I thought about picking this up on, like, Battlefield has always been a PC franchise to me because of, like, the ping system and everything. It always feels like that. But also, like, I am kind of like a console player now. I haven't really played that much. The last Battlefield I really sunk my teeth into was Battlefield 4. I played a decent amount of 1, and I never even touched 5. And so I really want to play 2042. I will most likely be playing it at launch. It comes out October 22nd, but I don't really know where I'm going to be playing it at. Because like I said, it has always felt to me like a PC franchise. I think that is the best place to play. But at the same time, I would really like to play it on PlayStation 5 because a lot of times, like, my PC, it's a laptop. It's not necessarily, like, it can run any game. But at this point, with the new consoles, the consoles will run them better. Plus, I'm really excited to see that 128. I mean, I'm sure that'll be on PC, but again, performance might be a little lacking on my rig. And so I would rather just play it on a PS5. And so I'm probably going to pick it up on PS5, but I'm excited about that. What is it, 128 players? Yeah. Whereas the last-gen versions will only support 64 players, but I'm excited about the 128 players. That sounds absolutely nuts. But yeah, I'm very excited about this. Finally got the gameplay. Looks great. Looks like more Battlefield greatness. Going back to, like the kind of, I want to say the roots of Battlefield, but like the kind of Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 era, which was where I really got into Battlefield. And so I'm excited about it. I'm interested to see what kind of cool stuff they can come up with. And yeah, it's Battlefield. Hell yeah. I'm very excited. I think they're going to have some cool stuff in store for us. And then we got a release date finally for Psychonauts 2, which coincidentally happens to be like the next big game for me. It's coming out August 25th. That period of time we're literally getting within a week. Psychonauts 2, No More Heroes 3, and Amazon's New World, which all three I'm very excited for. So it's going to be a busy week for me. But that also happens to be the next time I'm excited for anything. I know Scarlet Nexus is coming out here in the next couple weeks, but I don't really care too much about that. Like, I'm keeping an eye on it, and I might pick it up, but really, I have no games on the radar until Psychonauts 2 now. That is the next game for me that I'm concerned with. But I'm excited. I never played the original, but it's something like Double Fine has come out with some cool stuff that seems right up my alley. I plan on playing it, hopefully, fingers crossed, before this game comes out. Probably going to stream it, maybe. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Probably going to pick it up. I'm hoping, because right now I've been drowning in rent payments and utilities and all this other stuff. And so I've basically just been throwing money at this new house. But once I get to the point of where I am fully settled in and ahead, I'm hoping to finally pick up an Xbox. And so I'm hoping by August I'll have it. I'm hoping to play this on Series X. But yeah, finally got it. Watched the trailer. Looks cool. I'm very excited for zaniness, and it just seems like the kind of game I need right now. I feel like there's just been a lot of doom and gloom in the world lately, if you haven't noticed, but also just in my personal life. And so I need it. I'm playing Rift Apart. I'm having a lot of fun with that, and Psychonauts kind of seems to be even more zany and like that sort of stuff. Just fun, that sort of thing. So I think I need those games in my life right now. But yeah. And also, this one's more for me, because it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's Hades. It finally got announced for Xbox and also PlayStation, but that wasn't a part of this presentation. But it is coming, I believe, August 13th, and it's launching into Game Pass. I pre-ordered physical copies because I just want a copy of Hades on everything. I literally pre-ordered a copy of Hades on Xbox and on PS5. I'm heavily debating picking it up on PS4 as well, but I'm like, I stopped myself for now, but I'm like, I might. But I pre-ordered a physical copy for Xbox and PS5 because I want to own Hades on everything. Like I said, I'm probably going to end up picking up a PS4 copy as well, just so I can have them all, because I love Hades so much. I will drop God knows how much money on this game because it's so good, and I'm so happy that more people will get to experience this game, and I cannot recommend it enough. Go play Hades. It's so good. Then we finally got the announcement of developers from... I'm trying to remember what their name is. But their new game, Somerville. I'm trying to find it. There we go. From Jump Ship. Yeah, the developers... wait, is that their name? Oh, okay. So, it's not. Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't sound right. Playdead. So... I'm kind of confused. Okay, so this isn't actually Playdead's next game. I thought that it was their next game. That's what I was like, because everyone was like, oh, the people who made Limbo and Inside. But it's not, actually. So it is the co-founder of Playdead. He left the studio and has now made his own development studio called Jump Ship, and they're working on Somerville, which is basically like, you know, an Inside Limbo type game. I had no idea. But yeah, so I'm just learning this right now. But it is supposed to come out next year. It's interesting. I'm just now learning this. But yeah, very exciting to do that. Inside is a hell of a game. One of the best games on the Switch. And I'm let's just say I'm working on a video on some stuff from the last generation, aka the PS4 Xbox era. And I don't remember if Inside comes up or not. It might just. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, I'm not super far into that project yet. But then we finally got the multiplayer reveal of Halo Infinite, which I'm super excited for this game. I think it's going to be dope. I think they're making a lot of good decisions, like with the free-to-play multiplayer model and then their Battle Pass system, which they've talked about. They've talked a little bit about it, about how their battle passes never expire, and they're like, well, how are you going to make money? And it's like, by making it fun. And they can always do that, and it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I kind of thought about it, and I was like, yeah, like, I understand you're wanting to, like, it will hurt their player retention by, like, because then it's like, well, why do that? But if it's fun and you want to keep playing, and then you have that incentive to keep playing, because it's like however long it takes for these new battle passes and new content to drop, you can keep doing that. But, if life gets busy and you don't have time to play for a little bit, it'll be there when you get back. and they keep adding new content, and it just seems like a very consumer-friendly multiplayer system, and I love that, because I'm the type of person that I play a lot of different video games, and I'm all over the place, and my headset turned off, and so I'm taking this off now because it's going to bug me, because it immediately, like, once it turned off, it just, like, the sound got weird for me, but it turned off because there was no sound, because I have sound muted. Not great planning on my part, but anyway. Yeah, it seems really cool. And Xbox in general has always, well, not always, but in this last generation, they have become so much more consumer friendly, and Halo Infinite seems to be taking all of that. And at this point, I'm just hoping and praying it's good, because, I think I'm still not 100% convinced that it is, but everything I have seen, basically since their last reveal last year, that people were very mixed on, including myself, it seems like they have been dedicated to making this the best it can possibly be. I'm concerned that we still don't have a release date. They just hit us with holiday 2021 again. Everybody assumes it's going to be, what is it, November 11th? Because that's the 20th anniversary of Halo. I'm trying to look that up. November 15th. Sorry. Everyone assumes it's going to be November 15th. What day is that this year? November 15th. It's a Monday. That's weird. So I don't know about that, but everyone's been kind of assuming that, and whether or not that we know that, but yeah. Anyway, I'm excited for it as a Halo fan. How can you not be? But I'm still not 100% convinced it's going to be this huge, big thing. But yeah. Then all of a sudden, we got an announcement for a sequel to A Plague's Tale, which is interesting. I never played the original, but it was on Game Pass. I don't know if it still is or not. But that's super cool to see, because this was kind of a sleeper hit. So sleeper that even I didn't play it. Oh my god. But I've heard very good things. I know it has a big fan base, and it's releasing next year. The Nintendo Switch version is going to be a cloud-based, so it is coming to Switch, but it's going to be cloud-based, so I'm very excited to see. It is coming only on next gen, and then also Switch, so I'm excited to see that, because it seems like it's going to be a big, beefy boy, you know what I'm saying, in terms of graphic fidelity, and I'm always excited to find more games that take advantage of next gen, and I need to play the original. But anyway, we also got another look at Far Cry 6, which is exciting to see, and then we've got the sort of reveal of Atomic Heart. The name sounds so familiar to me, and I meant to look this up, but I never did. It says this was an announced trailer, but again, I swear I heard this before. When was this announced? Yeah, this was announced before, right? But it seems like it's up my alley. It was yeah. So this thing doesn't tell me, but it's basically been in development for the last few years, and we still don't know a release date for it. It's supposed to come to last gen. Who knows? Maybe it'll get canceled. Like, the last gen versions will get canceled. So I would say it's probably not too far away, but who knows? But yeah, it looks right up my alley. We also got Replaced, which right now I'm literally forgetting who that's from. I know that's supposed to be, it's a big thing. Replaced game. I'm looking it up because Wikipedia is not helping me out here. It's a 2.5D. It's a sci-fi platformer. 80s inspired. It looks cool. It's like basically a cyberpunk platformer. It's coming to Xbox in 2022. And then we got some announcement of The Outer Worlds 2, which isn't super duper surprising, but it's definitely a welcome announcement. I'm super excited. I loved The Outer Worlds, but it's announced for Series X and PC, and so yeah, very exciting about that, to have that confirmation. And then we got the release date, because I don't think we knew the release date before, did we? For Microsoft Flight Simulator on Series X. It is coming July 27th. And then they announced a Top Gun Maverick expansion for this fall. So that's exciting, because I actually just watched Top Gun for the first time right after I got vaccinated. I missed the movie so much, so I was going to the movies a bunch, seeing a bunch of movies, and one of the movies I saw was Top Gun in Dolby Cinema, and so, yeah, I watched it for the first time, really enjoyed it. I will very likely go see Maverick, and so it's exciting to see that coming to Flight Simulator, but good stuff. And then, one of the most out of left field announcements I could have ever expected. I thought they were all working on Fable, but no. We got an announcement for Forza Horizon 5 coming November 9th, 2021. And if you get the premium edition, you get early access and can do it on November 5th. But yeah, it's set in Mexico. It looks absolutely jaw-droppingly gorgeous, as every Forza Horizon game does. And yeah, it completely knocked my socks off. I was not expecting it in any way. I was sitting at work, I was checking my phone to look at all the announcements, and they said Forza Horizon 5, and I was like, what? What? So yeah, that just happened. But yeah, everybody, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to play. I will 100% be playing, and yeah, it's just, whew, yeah, Forza Horizon 5, baby. That's exciting. And then Arcane Studios announced a game that's coming next summer. That was another completely out of red field. And it's called... I said Redfield because it's called Redfall. But it's coming... It's out of left field. But it is coming next summer. It is exclusively on Xbox Series X and S and PC. It is a, like, cyberpunk vampire game. Like, I'm very excited about that. That looks cool. I'm also super excited for Deathloop. And so just to see Arcane Studios just whipping out cool-ass games, I'm here for it. But yeah, Redfall looks super cool, completely up my alley, just good stuff. And yeah, that was their presentation. It was awesome, and I'm super sad that I missed it, but catching up on everything, I think it's just... It makes me excited for Xbox. There's a lot of cool stuff coming in the future. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. And, like, a lot of these announcements, other than some, notable, like, stuff that they just got announced, but, like, a lot of this stuff is stuff that's coming really soon, right? Like, Back 4 Blood, launching into Game Pass in October. Battlefield 2042, they've got the partnership with EA, but that is coming in October. Psychonauts coming in August. Hades coming in August. Halo Infinite coming this holiday. Far Cry 6 partnership with Ubisoft coming in October. Microsoft Flight Simulator coming in July. Forza Horizon 5 is coming in November. It's like, yeah, I'm very excited. And we also got some other stuff that I left out, like the Ascent that's coming, I believe, in August as well. Really cool stuff. Love Microsoft. I love it. Is exciting to be an Xbox player at this time, and so good on them. I'm very proud. I'm very happy, and yeah, I'm excited to hopefully check out Microsoft Flight Simulator really soon on Xbox. I think that's going to be cool. And I've also got some interesting stuff about that if you are playing on Xbox One, because the Xbox One version of Flight Simulator has basically been canceled. They never really said it, but it's not coming, and they announced some news about that today. So if you are an Xbox One player looking to play Flight Sim, there is a workaround for you. But we'll talk about that in a second. Let's get into the Square Enix conference. They just dropped Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy out of nowhere, and I am so excited for this game. It is 100% up my alley. I'm a huge superhero fan, and I'm so excited that they gave another Marvel game to Square Enix, even though Avengers is what it is. I'm very excited to see Eidos Montreal, a very underrated developer, picking up Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks so cool. It is a single-player action-adventure game where you play a Star-Lord, and it kind of has a lot of, like, Telltale elements to it, where you make decisions and, the Guardians will agree or disagree with them, and that'll affect how things go down the line. I'm super excited about that. Very narrative-driven, very 80s music-oriented and driven. It just seems like an awesome game, and I'm very excited. And it comes out this October! I'm so excited! Like, I am picking this up day one. Why have I not pre-ordered it yet, Landon? Why have you not pre-ordered it yet? Jesus. Sorry, I'm just now realizing that I haven't. But it comes out October 26th. I will be picking it up and playing it on PlayStation 5. I'm very excited. Yeah, it looks really cool. It's, yeah. Really cool. But I'm very excited about that. It looks cool. Graphically, it looks like it's okay. But gameplay-wise, I'm super pumped. And cannot wait to play another Marvel superhero game because I just can't get enough of them. And speaking of that, we got a very underwhelming look at future Marvel's Avengers content. I watched it because I was excited because I am one of the few people that actually plays that game. I've been working through it. I played a little bit of it at launch and then left it. And then once they released the next-gen versions, I've been playing on PS5 semi-consistently. I've been busy over the last month, but I actually played it last night. But I've been working through the post-game content that is just an absolute slog. And so I'm always excited to hear about new content. I have yet to play the Hawkeye and Kate Bishop expansions because, again, I've been working through this post-game content, which you don't need to play before you get to the other stuff, but I just really want to, but it's just been a pain in my ass. But I refuse to give up. But yeah, I'm really excited about the War for Wakanda expansion. It looked really cool. I'm pretty surprised we don't have a release date yet. I'm gonna guess August, but that's what it seems like, but my guess is they have some difficulty. My guess is it's been delayed a little bit, but they still say it's this summer. So, yeah, like I said, I assume August would be the date. Maybe late August. Try to get it out at the end of the summer. But I think it's been delayed a little bit. Is kind of what it sounded like to me. And then the other big announcement, we got Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. This got leaked a little bit ago, but it is basically if Final Fantasy and Dark Souls had a baby. And it was basically like Devil May Cry. I played the demo. They released a PS5 exclusive demo that is available now until June 24th, I believe. It was broken at first, but yesterday morning for myself, 2 days ago for you guys, they released a patch that fixed it. I streamed it, got to the final boss. He absolutely wrecked my asshole. If I really sat with it, I could do it, but I was just like, okay, cool. I might go back, and try and finish it. But it is really fun. I think there's a lot of cool. It kind of has some Code Vein elements which is a heavily underrated game. Go play Code Vein; it's so good. But it reminded me a lot of Code Vein in a lot of regards, and that is a compliment. And so I'm very intrigued. It seems like it is trying to do its best to incorporate elements from both Final Fantasy and Nioh, because it is Team Ninja. It's the people who developed Nioh, so I would say that versus Dark Souls. But it seems to be trying to combine a lot of elements of that, and it's really cool to me because I really love the Nioh collection. I have it on PS5, and I played Nioh 2 on PS4. And so I'm excited about that. It looks cool. I liked what I played. Very excited about that. I don't know if they gave us a release window. I think it's maybe supposed to come next year. I imagine it's probably next year because of this demo. But I liked what I played. I'm excited. Graphically, it kind of looks like dog shit, but still fun. Looks like it's gonna be a fun time. And so that was the Square Enix conference. There's some other stuff, but it doesn't matter. Moving on to the PC gaming show, we got another look at Dying Light 2, among plenty of other stuff, but it was vastly mediocre. Capcom, literally the worst conference. It was so bad. We got confirmation that they're working on DLC for Resident Evil Village, which makes me very excited, but we have no idea what it is, so okay. And, we got some new looks at some other stuff like Monster Hunter Rise, but it was just, it was pretty awful. Just moving on from that, it was bad. Capcom, never do that again. That was stupid. And then finally we have the Nintendo conference. We also had other stuff, but again, just vastly mediocre. And so the only other notable thing, we had Nintendo. And Nintendo gave us our next Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character, which I don't even remember his name, but he's from Tekken, and cool. I've never played Tekken. I thought about getting into Tekken 7. It looks really it looks like a great game, but I've just never done it. And so, yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, getting a Tekken character, cool. I don't really care. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy got confirmed for Switch, which is cool. I love that. More accessibility. I'll be playing it on PS5, but go off. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania got announced. It's a remaster of the first, I want to say, 3 Super Monkey Ball games. That's cool. Not really my thing, but good for you guys. one of my personal favorite announcements that I don't think got talked about enough, Mario Party Superstars. It is coming out this October. Let me see, which again, October is getting stacked. But let me find this here. It is coming out October 29th. I'm super excited. So it is basically like the Nintendo 3DS game that came out back in like 2017. It is basically a bunch of remastered maps from the Nintendo 64 variants of the series, and it's also going to have 100 remastered minigames. I'm very excited for it. It looks cool. It seems to have borrowed a lot of assets from Super Mario Party, like a lot of the UI seems to have been, sort of switched over, but I'm excited about it. Super Mario Party was kind of like, it was okay, but it really seemed like it, just sort of missed the ball on content, and so I'm excited about this. I will probably pick this up. It's 100% in my alley. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. I was like completely like when it got announced. And then we got Metroid 5. It was rumored a lot, and I'm kind of surprised people really predicted this, because I didn't. But it's called Metroid Dread. It looks really cool. It is also confirmed for October 8th. And so, yeah, that's really cool. I was excited. I didn't really see this coming. Apparently, a lot of people did. But it is, it's the 5th main events, or technically it's the 13th installment of the Metroid series, but it's like the 5th 2D Metroid game, like main game. It's the first original 2D Metroid game since Fusion. But, yeah. It's exciting. I'm excited for it. It looks really cool, and I think there's a lot of, there's been so many cool Metroidvanias since, the last main Metroid game, so I'm very excited to see how they, the pioneers, it's literally called Metroidvania, so I'm excited to see what they can come up with. So, yeah, that was cool. I would love to see some Metroid Prime 4 info, but this was also cool. And then we also got a new WarioWare game, which I was excited about. It's called WarioWare Get It Together. It releases September 10th. And so that's exciting. Honestly, to be honest with you, I didn't really see anything in there that really got me excited for the game itself. I'm more excited just for the fact that there's a WarioWare game coming to Switch, because they announced one for 3DS and totally conned us in 2017. I was so mad. But it's nice to see a WarioWare game coming to Switch now. But yeah, that's exciting. And then we got some updates on Shin Megami Tensei 5, which kind of sucked because we knew most of them already. It got leaked, but it is coming November 12th worldwide, November 11th in Japan, which kind of sucks. But it looks really cool. I really love Persona 5, and so to see, this, which Persona is spun off of the Shin Megami Tensei series, and so to finally see this, it looked really cool. I thought there were a lot of cool stuff that they seemed to be taking a lot of inspiration from Persona 5, but also kind of keeping it its own thing. It looks really cool. I'm excited for it. I will definitely be picking it up this November. And then got another look at Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope that I didn't really think we needed to look at, but okay. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp got announced. It's a remaster of the original first two Advance Wars games, which were before my time. I didn't really get into them, but I know a lot of people were really excited for it. And finally, we got another look at the Breath of the Wild sequel. It was honestly, I kind of wish we gotten more, but I'm not super satisfied with that, but it looked good. What we saw looked good, and it's coming next year. We got confirmation. 2022, the Breath of the Wild sequel. They told us that they know what it's going to be called, but supposedly it's going to spoil about what happens in it yet. So we can't know yet what it's going to be called, but there is a name out there. It's just, it's not going to be Breath of the Wild 2, that's for sure. But it's a sequel, and it's very much air-oriented. They've confirmed that. We know that much now. So instead of being on the ground most of the time, it looks like we're going to spend a lot of time in the air, a la Skyward Sword. So yeah, that's interesting. Looks like there's going to be a lot more maneuverability, which is cool because of the whole stamina system. I'm very curious about how they're going to, incorporate that with the air. But yeah, not quite what I was hoping for, but I'm just happy it was there, But it's coming next year. Hopefully we'll get some more information later this year about it. They also announced a Zelda Gaming Watch, so that's cool. It comes with it comes with 3, technically 4 games. You've got Zelda 1 and 2, Link's Awakening, the original Game Boy version, and then a Game & Watch that is Zelda-fied. So, yeah, it looks cool. I kind of want to pick it up, but I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think pre-orders have went up for that yet, but I may be wrong. But that was the Nintendo presentation. It was kind of mediocre, I'm not going to lie. For an E3 presentation, they kind of dropped the ball, but there were some cool announcements in there. But, yeah, just take it as you will. So that was E3 2021. Pretty much. Let me take a drink of water real quick here, but yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not mad about it for the simple fact that, again, with the pandemic and COVID, this is just what we have to deal with right now. A lot of developers got pushed back. These big developers, these big publishers like Nintendo and Microsoft, they can only do so much. And I think Microsoft really did the best job. I think with the cards they were dealt, they did the best. Easily. And so I think Nintendo really could have done better than this, and that's why I was mostly upset. But at the end of the day, it's COVID. What can you do? I think that's 100% of the reason why we have all of this stuff, which sucks, but at the same time, I can't complain too much. But, I do think some of these publishers could have either not had a conference or really lowered expectations. So I think a lot of hate that these publishers are getting for their conferences isn't necessarily deserved, because no one should be hated on. People should be nicer about this stuff. But some of it is on them for really just trying to show up and knowing about the hype around E3 and just still, kind of coming out with whatever it was they did. And so some of it's on them, but also people need to be a little more chill about this stuff. But that was E3 2021. Hopefully that's the last kind of awkwardness we get, and we can get back to a sense of normalcy next year. But again, I really can't be mad at anyone because it's just been nuts. But hopefully we are looking towards better times. But let's get into the gaming news for this week. I tried to avoid any E3 stuff. I just talked about all of that. But like I was saying, we've got a lot of cool Xbox news. There's an updated Xbox Series X game case design coming later this year. We first got a glimpse of it with the Flight Simulator box art, but now it's coming for Halo Infinite and probably a bunch of other stuff as well. I'm excited for it because I like physical copies. They look nice on shelves, and I'm very excited. I've got a bookshelf coming for my room over here for now. I've just kind of got my games on my TV stand, but I'm excited to really make them look nice and everything, especially because I have a ton of physical PS5 games. I've shown them off before here, but I've gotten so many more now, but I'll show them off. But there's so many of them, and it's I have to keep them in a thing like this. So for my video watchers, look how many PS5 games I've gotten. It's been 6 months, dude. It's been 6 months, and I have all of these. Jesus Christ. I have a problem. I know I do. And, I plan on getting more. I have yet to get a physical copy of Guilty Gear Strive, and I plan on rectifying that here soon. But, yeah, it's an issue. Let's be real here. But, yeah, I want shelves to put them on. But, yeah, I was kind of disappointed that they didn't really change the case design for the Series X, which I understand, it made sense for the brand because they were really about trying to blur the lines between generations, but I was still a little disappointed. So I'm happy about this, that they now have changed it up a little bit to, which it isn't a huge change. They've just kind of changed the design slightly, but it looks nice. I definitely like it just so that we get a little bit of a change of pace, but it's exciting. Then secondly, there is an extended Xbox Game Showcase coming. If you're watching this right as it comes out, it's in an hour. It's 1 p.m. on Thursday, so very likely if you are watching / listening to this, it's probably already happened. But, so we're supposed to get some more information about stuff. We don't know much about it. We just know that Paris Lilly, one of the coolest guys in the industry, is hosting. I'm super happy for him. But it's going to have conversations with developers from studios like Double Fine, Obsidian, Ninja Theory, Rare, and dev partners from around the world. So I wouldn't go into this thinking like, oh, we're going to get huge announcements. We might get some stuff sprinkled in there, but I think this is very much like a Nintendo Playhouse, you know, where they show off gameplay, do that sort of stuff, and just have talks with devs. So I wouldn't expect this to be like another presentation. That's very likely not what it's going to be, but we'll probably find out some interesting stuff about Psychonauts, maybe some updates about Hellblade, you know, that sort of stuff. But I wouldn't go into it expecting huge, big announcements, just some little updates, that sort of thing. But that is coming today. That's, you know, potentially exciting. I would keep your ears out for that. But then also, for my Xbox One users, we're now getting to the point where we're getting some Xbox games that are not playable on Xbox One. They are only available on Xbox Series X and S and PC. But if you have an Xbox One, you can do so via cloud gaming. So they announced that Microsoft Flight Simulator, when it launches, will be able to be played on Xbox One via the cloud, which is super cool for my Xbox One users that, you know, can't get their hands on an Xbox Series X right now, or may not have the money. You know, maybe they bought they bought an Xbox One X and they're like, I, you know, just bought this recently, I don't want to upgrade to another one. You can play it via the cloud, and that's really cool. I like that a lot. I think, you know, Project XCloud has been super cool. I don't really use it all that much because I have the latest stuff, you know, I don't really need to, but like I have a good rig, but it is really cool for people that need that. And, you know, like my roommate has an original 2013 OG Xbox, like Xbox One. And so that is an option for him to do that stuff. And that's really cool. And I haven't told him about it because I just found out about it, but I will, because it's cool and it's a nice option and I am happy about that. So going forward, Xbox Series X and X exclusives will be playable on the cloud via Xbox One. And so, or will be playable on Xbox One via the cloud, I should say. But that's really cool. Props to Microsoft for that. Just being as consumer friendly as possible. Good for you guys. Like 100%. This is a really, really awesome thing. And then we got, this is the biggest thing. This wasn't a part of E3 technically, but we got that announcement. Elden Ring has officially been like revealed. They got a release date and a new gameplay trailer. It is coming out. I should have looked this up. I should have gotten the thing. But it is coming out January 21st, 2022 for both new gen and last gen consoles. And so I'm very excited. It looks awesome. It looks like a cool mix of like Sekiro and Dark Souls, to be honest with you. But I'm very excited for it. I want to ride my horse around and kill stuff. And yeah, I will very likely be playing this because everybody will be playing this. But where is my... Oh, wait, never mind. This is not the chair I thought it was. I'm on my desk chair. I was thinking I was on my gamer chair. But anyway, yeah, that got revealed. And also, a director's cut of Death Stranding got announced for PS5, which I'm super excited about because I have not been able to beat that game. I've been wanting to, but I just can't. And I'm just like... But I don't think no release date, but a full reveal is weeks away, which is making people think that we're going to have like a state of play showcase, you know, in late June, which has been kind of rumored. So I would believe it because, like I said, Kojima came up and said, hey, yeah, this is it. It was a very Metal Gear inspired trailer, which was kind of like a haha funny. We'll see about how Metal Gear inspired this new content is for the director's cut. But it's coming to PS5, looks great, and we're supposed to get more information in a few weeks, which could mean a state of play. Who knows? But yeah, that's exciting. Maybe I'll actually beat this game now. But yeah. Now, that's the news for the week. Let's get into the games coming. We've got some cool stuff. So, out today for PC, Red Solstice 2 Survivors. Sequel to the bestseller, The Red Solstice, plan your strategy and infiltrate a real-time tactical battlefield alone or with up to 7 squad members. Can you demonstrate the combat prowess to survive and secure a future for humanity? If you're into games like XCOM, this looks really cool. I like the aesthetic of it. I think visually it looks great. So yeah, if you're into tactical games on PC, this might be the one for you. Then on Tuesday, we've got a bunch of stuff coming out. First off, Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX for PS5, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. A legend returns in stunning new detail with Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. Fire up your power bracelet and relive a platforming classic alongside new modes, levels, and features. So, my old farts in the audience might recognize this game. It looks cool. It definitely looks like they've put some care into it. And so, if you're into platformers, I would definitely check this one out. Because, yeah, why not? Also on Tuesday, Dark Alliance for PS5, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The world of Dungeons & Dragons comes to life in an explosive action brawler filled with real-time combat and dynamic co-op. Play as iconic D&D heroes and join up to 3 other friends to battle legendary monsters, earn powerful gear, and unlock new abilities to take on even bigger challenges. So, I'm super into action RPGs, so this is right up my alley. Whether or not it will be good, because this feels like the type of game that could be sort of like almost like shovelware-esque, like just trying to nab the brand money, so I'm gonna kind of wait and see how people feel about it, but I might very well pick this up, because, like I said, it's right in my ball house, so, or wheelhouse, I don't know these terms, guys, I'm sorry, I'm trying to use them, but I just don't know them. But Dark Alliance coming out on Tuesday. Also on Tuesday, Ender Lilies, Quietus of the Nights for Nintendo Switch and PC. Ender Lilies is a dark fantasy 2D action RPG about unraveling the mysteries of a destroyed kingdom. On this sorrowful journey, encounter horrific enemies against whom a moment of inattention could be fatal. Overcome these hardships and seek the truth with the help of fallen knights. Jojo, I hope you're watching this because I know you're waiting for Hollow Knight Silksong. While you're waiting for that, play this game. It's been in early access for a while. It's finally getting a full release on PC and then on Nintendo Switch as well. And it's also coming to PS4 and PS5 later, I believe in July. But yes, this is very much a Hollow Knight game. That's just its own thing. It looks really cool. I love the aesthetic of it. So if anybody is just clamoring for that Hollow Knight sequel and they're looking for something to play this game. It looks really good. People have been super excited about it while playing it in early access. And so if you are trying to find a game to scratch that itch, play Ender Lilies. Also on Tuesday, Lego Builder's Journey for Nintendo Switch and PC. Lego Builder's Journey is an atmospheric geometric puzzle game that asks us to sometimes follow the instructions and sometimes to break the rules. This looks like a very Fez-inspired game, and it's kind of cool to see Lego branching out from just their licensed, adventure games like Jurassic World and Harry Potter and Star Wars and all of that, and to see them kind of branch off into different territories like this. And so it looks really cool. But yeah, if you like Fez, if you like your geometric puzzle games, this seems like the type of game for you. And then also on Tuesday, last game of the week, Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official video game for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, and Google Stadia. The Olympic Games are back, and this time it's your chance for glory. Whether you play with friends, family, or go for gold on the global leaderboards, this is a party game that anyone can pick up and enjoy. So here's the thing. This is made by Sega. Who also, did they not also make the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games? Don't they make those as well? Which they already came out with a Tokyo game? It's really weird, because it looks like they, partnered up with EA and, used The Sims and made an Olympic Games, party game with this. I don't know. They literally have a Sonic costume in this game. So, it was very odd. This game's existence is very odd. But if you really like the Olympic games, yeah, I guess this is for you. I don't know. But yeah, that comes out on Tuesday. Well, let's get into the off hours, what I've been playing. Rift Apart, I'm absolutely obsessed with that game. It's so good. I'm hoping to have a full review up on my YouTube channel within the next week, but I've been very busy, just kind of catching up, getting moved into this house and all this other stuff, but I've been trying to play as much as possible. I love that game to death. It is so, so good. I would literally say buy a PS5 for Rift Apart. It's really good. It's really good, guys. I haven't finished it yet, so those aren't necessarily my final thoughts, but I really love this game. And then I played that, like I said, that Final Fantasy Origin demo. I really liked it. I'm very excited for more. But dang, is it hard? It is definitely a hard game. It is a Dark Souls game. Played a little Marvel's Avengers, like I said, and I have a love-hate relationship with that. And I've been watching Loki. I watched the second episode, no spoilers, but I love that show. It's so good. But that's pretty much all I've had time for this week. But I really like Loki. Really like the games I've been playing. And with that, I'm gonna skedaddle out of here. I spent a while talking about E3, and it's exciting, and I'm excited to keep this going. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be talking video games, all that sort of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed as well, because I do it for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like if you like this video on YouTube. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you're listening on my podcast services, be sure to give me a follow. You know, I'm hoping now that we're back, do this every week, every Thursday at noon. Hopefully, get that all settled down, you know, all that cool stuff, noon Eastern. But, yeah, I appreciate you guys. Much love, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.